A while back, Christy, my wife, my little camera girl, she's like, smile! So, anyway, a few months ago I posted a video about fruit trees. This is a pear tree. It's only about 3 years old, and we've come here today to pick them. These are more like a canning pear than a eating pear, but they're still edible. They're still edible. Even if a tree says can or jarring pear, it's still very edible. It'll just be a little, the outside's a little coarse, got a little texture to it. If you don't have fruit trees planted around your house, you really should consider it. Every urban survivalist should have some type of fruit tree. Whether this is apple, pear, peach, plum, nectarine, something. You should have some type of fruit tree planted in your house. Or not in your house, around your house. And most of us have a backyard. Backyard is like a square. Goes back 90 degrees, comes across. That's how suburbanites live, inside a square. In the square, in the corners, what do you have? Usually you might have maybe a little landscaping, maybe some flowers, maybe some ferns. You'll have something planted in the square corners. Dig them things up. Throw them away. You don't need them. You can't eat ferns and other things. Plant you a couple of fruit trees. Plant you a couple of pear trees on one side, a couple of peach trees on the other side. Your neighbors may not appreciate you doing that, so you may have to plant dwarfs. Some of these trees can get up to 25 feet across. So if you plant it close to the fence, your unappreciative neighbor will probably reach up with a big saw and whack the limbs off. So,
maybe the appreciative neighbor would just pick the fruit.
Yeah, and if they're appreciative, they'll be standing there with a basket waiting for the peaches and plums, pears to fall.
Oranges.
Oranges. So if you're like a super urbanite and you've got this little bitty backyard that's in the shape of a square, plant you some dwarf trees. They don't get but about 8 foot, 10 foot tall. Plant them just a few feet away from the fence, where whenever your neighbor comes up with that big saw and whacks the limbs off, then it won't hurt the tree. Now we have pears. So, and you want to rotate your pears out. That one there's a little overripe. Throw it away.
Seeds?
Birds got to eat too. Yeah, seeds. Save these for some of the seeds. Replant them. During some type of disaster. What's the matter, honey?
Something was eating my foot.
Okay.
Probably a fire ant.
Yeah. During some type of disaster, keep in mind that your garden, you're going to have a time period there from the end of the spring garden to the summer garden to the fall garden, or where you're going to have a time period where you're not going to be growing anything. Use this time period for fruit trees. Do your research. Find out what type of fruit trees bloom or produce during that time period, that end of the phase. Like right now, July and August here in Texas, the gardens are dying off because it's just too hot. So the fruit, these pear trees that I'm picking, they are harvesting at the end of August. So these would be perfect to have around. So as the spring garden is finally dying off, tomatoes are finally dying off, then you start picking your fruit. You can preserve these, jar them, can them, make jellies out of them, stuff like that. Look how big they are. Look how big that is. Alright, well, I'll talk to y'all later.